How's everybody doing tonight? Raymond, what up? Oxybot, thank you so much for the host. Gonna do something a little different to start off the stream. I've been recording podcasts on my own just for articles that I do. So I wanted to, number one, the audio blows because I do it on my phone. Raymond, thank you so much for the host. Much appreciated. And I was recording it through my phone and the audio was awful. So I wanted to do it here live on stream. It's only going to be about 8 to 10 minutes or however long it takes me to get to the article. But I wanted to bring attention to my website, seftimorlive.com, where I write articles and just have that better audio quality for when I upload it to Anchor, and then be able to also take advantage of YouTube as well. So without further ado, here we go. So I wrote this article, A Quiet Place movie review. To me, it is the best horror film of the year, hands down. A Quiet Place is a special movie. In the horror genre, you don't get tons of films where you care so deeply about its characters. As soon as A Quiet Place starts, you begin to form a deep bond with the family. I felt deep within me that no one was safe in this film. Anxiety didn't leave my body for the entire length of the movie. A Quiet Place was co-written and directed, and also starring John Krasinski, which you probably know from The Office as Jim. It's a story about a family who is trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. Aliens have started hunting humans on Earth. These creatures are blind, but they have supersonic hearing. They can't see anything, but as soon as you make a noise, they're coming for you. So throughout the movie, which plays really well with everything, our family has to remain silent to avoid being hunted. Krasinski plays the father of the family. His in real life wife, which is Emily Blunt, is the mother. Noah Jupe plays the son, and Millicent Simmonds as the daughter. Simmonds' character is deaf in the film. Her father gives her an implant to wear for her hearing, and he keeps, I'm not going to spoil anything, but he keeps trying to perfect this. She doesn't know why, and he keeps trying to perfect this hearing aid, which you find out later in the movie why, but obviously I'm not going to do any spoilers here. A Quiet Place starts about 3 months into the invasion. We see the family scavenging for supplies, like you probably see in 95% of The Walking Dead if you ever watched it. I cashed out a while ago. Still a huge fan of the comics, but not the TV show at all. A tragedy happens in the first minutes of the film that will affect our characters for the entire movie. After this tragedy takes place, A Quiet Place jumps to about 1.5 years later. We see how the circumstances of this invasion are taking its toll on the family. The scene at the beginning of A Quiet Place is a vital part of the character development. It lays out the path that will determine their future. As I said, this review is spoiler free, but the movie has a lot of different twists and turns. It's pure emotion, this movie. They all add to the dread of this terrible way of life that our characters have to endure. A Quiet Place is a film where the tension builds on every scene. It doesn't stop until the credits roll. The film had me gripped to my seat, filled with unease for the family. A Quiet Place is mostly a silent film. We don't get to see this in not only horror, but most movie genres. The daughter in this film, as I said, is deaf. This adds to the movie where our characters speak almost entirely in sign language. It worked perfectly in adding emotion to the movie. This really amplified things for me. Just their facial expressions, the way they communicate. It's not your typical movie, and because you don't see things like this all the time, you really get pulled in to this film. The sign language lets us see this family come together to fend off these creatures. We get to see a side of humans that is not present in modern day horror films, from the family love and the expressions used. A Quiet Place is all about making those connections with our characters. The chemistry that each actor and actress portrays is nothing short of excellent. I'm telling you, every single scene in this movie. Now, I've watched every single horror movie almost ever made, and this was just a breath of fresh air. It was so cool. The chemistry everyone does, and as I get into in my next part of the article, Krasinski is a fucking star in this. He is absolutely incredible. Although everyone does a great job, Krasinski is the star of A Quiet Place. His face tells more in silence than most movies do with full-blown talking. When something bad happens that could harm the family, you really feel that pure terror. The monsters in this film are fast and vicious. I felt uneasy every time a noise alerted one of the creatures to the family's whereabouts. Raymond, as you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. In the beginning of the film, like I said before, there was a tragedy that happens. Just unease. The first couple minutes of the movie, when I was watching it, I thought something was wrong because it was so silent. But it's just trust me on it. It's incredible. I did not take one breath the entire time the aliens were on screen. The soundtrack to A Quiet Place is as incredible as the acting. I love what the music added to every part of this movie. It complemented the silence and menacing sounds of the creatures. I write reviews of movies that I like so I can give you a positive review. This is why a lot of the time I say a movie is one of my favorites of the year. I don't really like writing negative reviews. It just puts me in a negative state, and I don't want that. But I do like writing. That's why a lot of the things you're going to see, oh, this is one of the best movies, this is one of the best movies, because I just want to give those recommendations. Maybe one day I'll write one that is a little something that was negative. Like a movie that's been getting a lot of attention this year was called Cold Hell. While the movie was good, I didn't like the actress in it at all. Not the actress. The actress was actually excellent, but the character. I just didn't like the character. I didn't like the main character. I didn't like how they portrayed her. A Quiet Place is a special movie, not only for this year, but for an entire generation. It is not only my favorite film this year, it's one of the best horror films ever created. Thank you everyone for listening. If you want to follow me on any of the platforms I create on, you can find them here. Seftimorlive.com, where this blog post was written. Everything, Medium, Twitter, Instagram, Mixer, where this is being live broadcasted and recorded. And my podcast is Seftimor, is at Seftimor. The YouTube is Seftimor Live. And if you enjoy this, I'll be doing more. I think I'm going to do, my next movie review will be on the movie Revenge. Excellent, excellent, excellent movie. I forget what site it was, but they gave it straight 10 out of 10. But if you enjoy this or have another horror fan that's a friend or something like that, please like, subscribe to the podcast, and give it a share. It really helps out, and I appreciate it. Take care, everybody. Peace. Boom. Knocked it out. Now we can turn the desktop audio.